Hello, this is Pooh, and you're listening my bad. Let me try that again. Hi, it's me, your friendly, lovable, fuzzy guy. It's Pooh, and you're listening to Playing Games with Strangers. But before we begin, how would you like to listen to a commercial?
Oh, hello. It's me, Callum. We haven't talked in a while, but thought I should let you know. We have a Patreon now. Very official. Patreon.com/playinggameswithstrangers. We've got 3 different tiers, bunch of different content you can get. So, if you feel like supporting the show and supporting me, I'd appreciate it. I'm very broke, both physically and financially. So head on over to Patreon and find things like early access, shout-outs on Facebook, and even the chance to watch us record live. And, support your favourite undead hero, I guess.
With us tonight, we have the guy who actually mentored me in my DM-age, Eric Campagno, formerly known as Stumblefoot.
I think I still am Stumblefoot, technically. He's not dead.
See, that's what I thought when I left.
Yeah.
I just haven't had to come up with a plot device to kill him yet.
I'm running water deep. You can't kill me.
That's true. Don't give him a challenge.
Challenge accepted. With Eric guesting tonight, we have the big boss of Supersonic Pod Comics, Ben Avery.
It's Ben Avery, not Ben.
I've been waiting to hear that all night. I know. I'm excited I got to hear that live.
I didn't get to introduce myself, but
he needs to have his own bonbons.
Yeah, the Ben bonbons.
Then with the usual cast, we have great Celeste Mora, who just got her 1,000th follower on the YouTubes.
Woo! Well done.
It's mildly scary if you think about it too much.
I try not to think about it at all.
I try not to think.
We have world famous movie director Josiah Crandall.
Hey, I sure, yep, here.
We have world famous writer of future hit cartoons, J.S. Earls.
Hello.
And then world famous author of future, I forgot what you asked me to say.
It's future bestsellers. They're coming.
Future bestseller, yes.
They're coming. They're in the works.
Kate Zerwinski, we call her Squid.
You can call me whatever you like. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Thank you.
Anybody got anything to hawk that we're not already advertising?
No, I'm fairly confident that either the ad you're currently running or a new one that I'm going to make by the time this episode airs is going to run.
Hi, this is Eric, the voice of Stumblefoot, Graham Walker on Supersonic Pod Comics, and now the Chief Sage of Fun at Sage's Portal. I am super excited to tell you all about Sage's Portal. Our store has been open for just a few months now, and we are really starting to see some growth, and that's thanks to you. Our website is up and running, and it's the best place to find all of our products. Just go to www.sagesportal.com and start shopping our selection of acrylic, resin, metal, and semi-precious gemstone dice. You can also find us on eBay and Etsy. We've just added dice bags to our inventory, and we'll be adding even more accessories in the very near future. And if you live in the US, then Sage's Portal is offering you free shipping on your purchases. Sage's Portal is continually adding new products to our already great selection. If you want to stay up to date on our new releases, or if you just like looking at pictures and videos of dice, then be sure to follow us on our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thanks again for supporting Sage's Portal. Now, back to Playing Games with Strangers.
Well then, let's go ahead and play the theme song and then let Eric take over the board.
Playing games with strangers. You know there's no danger. Come on in, cause we're all friends. Playing games.
Yes, Ben, they do this every time.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Playing games with strangers. You know there's no danger. So come on in, we're all friends. strangers.
Today, we're celebrating Liberation Day in Waterdeep. It's been officially 1 year since the city of Waterdeep was liberated from Christopher and the druids that were occupying the city. And Stumblefoot and the rest of the, sort of ruling council of Waterdeep have coordinated an event, a citywide event to celebrate said liberation. There is a kind of a carnival sort of festival planned that's happening in the city square, to which you all are invited. The whole city is. And then later on the evening, there is supposed to be a ceremony involving a speech that Stumblefoot's going to give, along with, it has been announced there will be a display of fireworks. And the city of Waterdeep has been a buzz about this event for weeks. Over the course of the last 3.5 years, you all not only became acquaintances, but kind of in the way that you do when you're in a high-pressure situation, you sort of became friends, sort of in the way that maybe veterans of a war kind of form sort of a brotherhood or a friendship with each other. You were all members of the Defiance. To various degrees. During the occupation, you were involved in acts of espionage, spying, sabotage, that kind of thing, in order to try and aid in the liberation of Waterdeep, to which your efforts ultimately were successful, thanks in large part to a small group of adventurers who showed up and also helped save the day. But as a thank you to your direct involvement and your membership in the Defiance, you all received a letter in the mail a few days ago from Stumblefoot. He sent to you each a token that you can use during today's festivities, which entitles you to free food and drink. All the vendors in the town square that are going to be either have their shops open or have a booth set up have been instructed that if someone presents one of these special tokens, which all of you have, free food and drink. Stumblefoot has also requested your presence at the ceremony tonight. Whether or not you show up is up to you. It's morning time about this time. The festival is about to begin, and you all have arranged to meet at the town square at a certain time, and you're kind of going to make a day of it together. You've maintained your friendship to some degree over this last year. So now I'd like to open it up to you guys. You can kind of describe for everyone else in the room and for the listening audience who your characters are and kind of your relation to everyone else in the group. Introduce yourselves. We'll start with John, because you're at the top of my screen, so you get to go first.
My name is Oribrius. I am a cleric of the nature domain. I'm kind of tall, kind of big. I like trees. Oh, I'm a furball. I forgot to say. I'm 8'1" and I'm 313 pounds. I'm kind of young in the terms of furball. Hi, everybody.
Perfect. Thank you, Oribrius. Celeste, would you like to introduce your character?
Toki is a orange striped tabaxi. She likes to eat moose and squirrels, which I do not have to do to get into this voice properly.
I disagree.
Moose and squirrels?
The barbecue. Moose and squirrels, very good barbecue. So I was a rogue with the sneaky with the Defiance. And I almost died.
All right. Thank you, Celeste. JS, would you like to go next? Introduce your character for tonight's game.
Sure. I'm going to use my regular voice to do that, though, because he's so intelligent that you guys are not going to be able to understand him when he actually talks. His name is Harlock Straightbro, and he is a dwarf wizard who tends to work down at the docks and deal with the ships. And he's blonde because there aren't enough blonde dwarfs.
Squid, why don't you go next?
Well, hello there. I'm Dash Mullaney, owner of So Perfect here in Waterdeep, the finest haberdashery this side of the Sword Coast. Now, I won't say that my involvement in this rebellion was nefarious by any means, but I was indeed useful. Most people looking at me would probably see, your general early 40s, I hesitate to say, human man. Well put together, I'd like to submit.
Josiah, please introduce to us your character for tonight's game.
Yes, I am Frank, Frank. I am a robot of sorts, a construct created by the one and only Dr. Nix. I have been searching for my purpose, and I have found it in the Defiance. There I have met very many friends, and what you would see when you see Frank is a robotic mechanical creature, lots of gears and stuff, but more of a trim robot as opposed to a big bulky thing. He also has a mustache from his disguise.
Josiah, I wish you would have
face.
mentioned this to me. I totally would have built Dr. Nick as a character for this.
Hi, everybody.
No, my Dr. Nick is a little bit more Bobcat Goldthwait.
For those who are in the know and interested in mechanics, Josiah is playing a Warforge. So that is the construct he's using. Going last, but certainly not least, Ben Avery. Would you please introduce your character for tonight's game?
So my character is Octavius von Sydow Block. They just call him Block, though, because that's a mouthful, and he doesn't really get to know people enough to tell them his full name. He's been a lifelong soldier and mercenary, and was really just looking for some purpose in life, and thought he'd find it by doing good things, fighting the good fight for good people. Unfortunately, everywhere he's gone, he's kind of not found that purpose. And so for this, at Waterdeep, he really thought he had found it, because that's a really bad problem. But when the people came in that actually took care of the problem and did it basically overnight, and he wasn't a part of it, he's just kind of given up the search for the good fight. He took the token, but he doesn't really feel like he deserves it. He probably won't use it much during the day. He's overweight. Basically, think of a professional athlete, but about 5 years after they were a professional athlete. And
Gotcha.
he's now sitting in the
Shaquille
booth.
O'Neal.
Yeah, exactly. He's 50-some years old, kind of an oldish guy who's lived longer than maybe he should, is considering the life that he's lived of just fighting people.
Well, when you get to the fight late, you tend to live longer.
It's true. It's true. Or if you miss it altogether.
So that is our group of intrepid former adventurers, all geared up to head down to the the festival for today. Now, just so the listeners know, I instructed the party not to worry about equipment and gear. If your character is the kind of person that would go to a carnival / festival fully clad in your adventuring gear, so be it. Weapons or armor you decide you want to take with you, you can, or if you decided that you're not taking any with you, that's great. But you all arrive in the morning at the pre-decided spot, wherever it was you decided you wanted to meet. The festival has gotten off to an early start. There's already a crowd there. It seems the whole city has gathered in the town square, and so there's a lot of bustling and jostling. There's carnival barkers. There's people selling their wares. There's all kinds of games. There's children running around. The sounds of laughter and merriment are everywhere. Bards are playing music in the street. And it's an all-around good time. What is it you all want to do? What do you have your heart set on? Is it a pub crawl? Are we playing carnival games? Or are we just kind of wandering around and are the two rogues looking for purses to pinch? I don't know. What's pick your poison, guys.
I am here for a good time.
That's what I like to say. Here for a good time, not for a long time. Oh.
You guys are all approximately 3 minutes late.
Oh, I definitely was later than that. But
I was
parties, in my
taking the
opinion,
average
I apologize for bringing down everyone's average.
What?
I was just informing this fine fella, Frank, that parties should not start before 3 p.m., but Waterdeep doesn't seem to abide by that rule.
Perhaps the party never stopped.
Now, once again, I find myself liking the way you think, Toby.
Did you just call her Toby?
No, dear. My name is Toki. You know this. I've told you this many times.
I thought she said Toby.
Well, that's offensive to this 40-year-old man, but...
Sorry. You humans all look the same to me.
Ari, I find that to be a fair assessment.
Actually, humans are remarkably different from each other. That's all I have to say. Yes, that is correct, Harlock.
Jeff rolled the Swedish chef.
I'm looking for the equivalent of Swedish meatballs in Waterdeep.
Make an investigation check for me, please, Harlock. First roll of the night goes to JS.
Hey, I got a 10.
Roll for meatballs. It takes you a little bit of time, not because there aren't meatballs to be found, but to find the kind of meatballs you're specifically looking for, the right kind of street meatballs. And after a good 10 or 15 minute search with your stomach growling the entire time, you come upon a young lady at her kiosk, and she is selling Swedish meatballs, whatever those happen to be, since no one here is Swedish or knows where Sweden is in the Forgotten Realms. But, details.
Do we even know what the meatball is?
Oh, yeah, meatballs.
Oh, sure.
That's common.
It is
they're
a ball of meat.
It's the universal language.
Oh, yeah.
Every culture has a meatball.
Actually, we have
the universal
meatballs
language
and meat
was
cubes.
pizza.
I'm willing to suspend my disbelief that that meatballs traverse the entire multiverse. There are meatballs everywhere.
I would think so.
I saw that movie.
I know. that's evidence right there.
As you approach the kiosk, she sees you and she says, "Oh, good day, lad. How are you today, sir? Would you be liking some meatballs?" Okay. She looks at you and she says, "So, that'll be 3 meatballs then?"
No, he requested 2 meatballs.
Oh, pardon me. Very good then. She gets a little bowl and puts some meatballs in them, hands the bowl over to you, and she says, "That'll be 1 silver piece." Are you showing her your token?
Sure, yeah, I'm showing her my token.
Oh, pardon me. I didn't know that you were one of the members of the Defiance. Thank you for liberating for Waterdeep. Please, meatballs are on the house. Oh, and thank you, sir. Enjoy the day. Happy Liberation Day. All right. She smiles politely.
This is the JS-iest character that I think we've seen so far.
Right?
He's been talking about it all week, so I don't know why I'm acting surprised that this is happening. So you continue on throughout the day, and eventually you're approached by a couple of members of the city guard, and one of them says, "Right, well, glad we found you. Seems that Master Stumblefoot has encountered an issue and was hoping that perhaps he could make your services of use. Would the lot of you be willing to come with me and hear him out?"
There's a problem with his ear.
No, he'd like to bend your ear for a moment and see if you might be willing to help out with a matter of some importance, but he'd like to kind of keep it, on the hush-hush. So, he sends his apologies for interrupting the celebration that you're certainly entitled to, but he needs folks that he knows he can rely upon, and he sent me to find you folks specifically.
So you are in need of sneaky.
Among other things, yes. Oh, can you help out?
You know, I've been in a very charitable mood today, and I think the drinks have helped. Shall we?
Glad to hear. Great. Follow me. And he motions you down the street. And you follow him for a few minutes. He kind of takes you a little ways outside of kind of the town square and where most of the celebration is happening. And takes you to a building that you happen to know is one of the city's barracks/armories. And when you enter inside, you see Stumblefoot there. And he has his arms crossed, and his brow is furrowed, and he's kind of tapping his foot. And when you enter in, you see kind of the look of worry on his face, and he says, Oh, so glad to see all of you. Let me offer an apology right from the start. I really didn't want to interrupt. It's a well-earned celebration that you've been taken advantage of today, and I feel terrible for asking, but I've got a problem I need solved. The fireworks for tonight's show have gone missing, and I need some folks who I know are trustworthy and could track them down for me before tonight. It's pushing on towards midday, and we've only a few hours left. We need to get everything set up. It's a dire situation, and I think, well, I know for certain that there's some ne'er-do-wells that have braked in and stole the things, well, the fireworks. It's not great. Follow me. And you follow him into the back room, and there's a storage room where, the weapons and armor and whatnot are kept. And you see that in the floor, there's a hole in the floor. And when you look down the hole in the floor, you can see the city sewer below. And he says, somehow they got in and made a hole in the floor here. I had a couple of men posted, but seems that they decided it'd be a better use of their time to slip away and go catch some drinks. And while they were gone, well, the fireworks were stealed, and now here we are.
Dash casually sets the tankard he's carrying on the table behind him.
Says, well, this is where we're at. I need someone to track these down. Now, there's been a couple of gangs that we've been having some troubles with, and I think I know which one it is. They're known as the Magpies. I think they're behind this. And, we've been busy trying to get the city back up and running, and we've been a little short-staffed on cracking down on all the organized crime that's popped up in the powder vacuum since Christopher, So, well,
we would love to help, wouldn't we?
For a slight monetary fee, of course.
Money is no object.
Stumblefoot smiles. He says, you'll be fairly compensated. In fact, I know that perhaps you weren't counting on doing this sort of work today, so I'll even outfit you and get you ready to go before we leave here.
Oh, I will assure you I am properly outfitted already. And then I pull out a business card and hand it to him.
First of all, he pulls out a box and he hands each of you a vial of red liquid.
Healing potions.
So you can each add one healing potion to your inventory. And he looks at you and he says, if you're needing a weapon, I've got some right here. If you're needing some armor, I've got some right here. I have a few magic items that I may be able to lend to you to help in your investigation. So here's how this is going to work. I will let you all choose. If you don't have any weapons or armor on you, you can take a standard weapon of armor of your choice that's non-magical, and you can have Stumblefoot give you a magic item, which I will randomly... I've already rolled up a list of items, and he has a bag of holding that he's going to reach into and pull out a magic item. Or you can take a +1 weapon or a +1 piece of armor. And so it's up to you. You can take a magic weapon, magic armor, or a magic item. Either way, you're going to leave with equipment to go and solve this caper. So I'll just go around real quick. John, what would you like?
You know me, I'm addicted to the chaos. I'll take a magic item.
All right. Here's the deal on the magic items. This will be a little bit like a white elephant gift exchange. If you decide you don't want the magic item that gets pulled out, he'll leave it on the table, and if somebody else wants it, they can take it. However, if you choose not to take it, then you're going to get a +1 either weapon or thing, just to kind of speed this along so it doesn't take too long. All right, he pulls out a suit of scale mail that is made out of adamantine, and he offers it to you.
Yeah, I'm going to take that.
Okay.
It is very slimming on you.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
It's just for the listeners. Adamantine scale armor is reinforced with a really hard metal called adamantine. While you're wearing it, any critical hit against you becomes a normal hit. So Erebrius cannot be crit upon.
Nor
And
can we be critical of him.
Can I grab a shield then too with my...
absolutely, yes. You can take a shield, and if you want to take a weapon, you have a standard weapon of your choice you can take as well. He turns and says, Block, what would you like?
I'll take a magic item.
He reaches in and pulls out a pair of slippers that have sort of these silver spider web embroidered on them and hands them to you. He says, these are slippers of spider climbing. So if you put these on and activate them, you can walk up and down walls and ceilings and whatnot, just like if you were a spider.
Would you like? Should I?
that?
Yeah, I will take them. And similar question to John's. Can I, or to Erebrius? Erebrius. Can I also take a longsword?
Absolutely. You can take a non-magical longsword. You can take a shield if you'd like a shield. And if you'd like any armor, you can take some armor. He's got up to, he doesn't have plate in here, but he's got up to, Splint mail, which I think is AC 15 or 16. Let me look.
17.
17.
Splint is 17.
Yeah. AC 17. Thank you.
All right.
I don't have all the armor classes memorized. He looks at you as Toki. What would you be liking?
I have natural armor and weapons, so I am also going to do magic.
Okay.
Although now I feel like I'm copying everybody else.
That's because you are.
All right. He pulls out a pair of, it looks like a musical instrument. It's it's two pipes made out of bone, and there's a small animal skull hanging from them. He says, are you able to play wind instruments?
I do not know. I have not tried.
Well, if you aren't proficient with wind instruments, this will not do you much good. And so he sets it down on the table. If you'd like it, you can have it. These are pipes of haunting. Essentially, what they allow you to do is when you play them, they'll cast fear from them. But it says you have to be proficient with wind instruments to use the pipes.
And who says Emo's not dead?
Well, she's got a lot of hot air, but...
I mean...
I do not have any lips.
It's going to be tough to develop a proper embouchure with no lips.
It's true.
So, is Toki going to take the pipes of haunting?
No, she is not.
Okay, so would you like a +1 weapon or +1 armor instead?
Maybe a +1 weapon?
Okay. You can take a +1 weapon of your choice, whether, short sword, dagger, bow, whatever you want.
Boomerang.
Whip. Rapier.
Let's do the whip.
Okay.
Oh.
You can have a +1 whip. While we're getting the sneaky folk out of the way, Dash, what would you be liking, my friend?
Well, in a very popular turn of phrase, big money, no whammies.
He reaches into the bag of holding. You're going to like this one.
Oh boy.
He pulls out a black stone shaped like a cat's head, and it has in the left eye a green gem. This is a stone of good luck. And he hands it to you. Says this requires attunement. And so he wraps a cord around your wrist real quick, and he says, but I can solve that problem for you right now, and you are attuned to it.
Ask permission first, will you?
I'm making an assumption. Sorry, I'm railroading you. In the interest of saving time.
Choo-choo.
While you are attuned to this object, you gain a +1 bonus on ability checks and saving throws. He turns and looks at you, Harlock, and he says, talking with you is always a trick. Would you be liking a magic item or a weapon or some armor, my friend Harlock?
Magic.
Got it. He reaches into his bag of holding and he pulls out, if I remember right, that
A fish.
he pulls out a ring. And he says, this is an interesting one here. And he hands it to you. He says, this is a ring of water walking. When you're wearing this ring, you can stand and move across any liquid surface as if it were solid ground. It's a beautiful silver ring with little waves embroidered in it and some pretty little blue gems.
I'll take it.
Would you like to keep that,
Yep.
Mr. Earls?
Mhm.
Okay, there you go. You have one ring of water walking. Also, I didn't tell you guys this, but because wizards have terrible ACs,
We do.
and I want you to be less squishy, Frank and Harlock, you are both equipped with bracers of AC 15. So I set your ACs to be 15.
Oh, as an aside, I'm also taking the breastplate. Thank you.
Okay. Frank,
Yes.
what can I offer for you for this this caper, this adventure that I seem to have piled upon your head?
Well, judging by the statistics, I will go ahead and choose a magical item, as that
Of course
seems
you
to
will.
be popular.
This is one I rolled, and I'm not sure if it's going to be useful. But he pulls out an amulet. This amulet is there's a pendant shaped sort of like an eye, and then there's some arcane symbols in it. This is an amulet of proof against detection and location. While wearing this amulet, you are hidden from divination magic. You cannot be scryed upon.
Hilarious for a divination wizard.
It is rather ironic. Same
Yes, it
thing. It
goes-
requires attunement. He does the little when it's in your hand. He has a little cord that he wraps around your hand. It attunes you magically to the item. Same with anyone else who has anything that requires attunement. So you are attuned to these items without having to wait the standard hour. He says, "As you can see, there's a hole in the floor. We believe they came in through the hole and left that way. So I'll leave you to it." He shakes all your hands and he says, "Thank you very much for your help. I wish you speed. I wish you Godspeed. And I hope you return
That's
safe."
probably pretty fast.
There is a 49% chance that we will all make it back alive.
Block just jumps in the hole and says, well, fireworks aren't going to find themselves. Let's go.
All right. It is a little bit of a drop. It's about an 8 or 10 foot drop. So please make a dexterity check for me. Are you going to roll real dice?
I did roll. I rolled a 13 and added the 2 on it.
Perfect. So that's a 15.
Yeah.
All right. Block jumps down through the hole and you hear him land on his feet quite neatly below with a little splash.
I'm going to look around the room real quick to. I want to make sure that there's no other way that these thieves got in or out. That this was not a
Okay.
a ploy
Yeah, go ahead and make an
of some
investigation check for me, Frank.
sort. Okay, that's a 12 plus 6, so 17 on that.
12 plus 6 is 17.
18.
Yeah, with an 18, you look around the room and there's a couple of windows that are high up on the walls and they're small, so it would have been difficult for someone to come in through those windows, but it's a possibility. As you look at the hole in the floor, you do notice that there is a sort of a residue around the perimeter of the hole. The residue is a liquid of some kind.
Some sort
I should
of
state that.
acidic compound.
The hole does not look like it was carved out. It's kind of actually, and it doesn't look like magic was used to create the hole. Some other means was used to create the hole.
Can I also look around to see if these thieves, as it were, left marks so on
Sure.
to, communicate with other thieves?
Absolutely. Make an investigation check for me, please.
I'm sorry, you said investigation?
Yeah.
Well, I'm all right not knowing.
I take it you rolled very well.
That's below a 10.
Nothing seems to jump out at you. It doesn't appear
Seems
that they
so.
left. There's no They didn't seem to leave a calling card of any kind. You don't see any marks that you would know are thieves' cant or anything like that. You see some scratches on the floor where the crates used to be.
Now, Frank, you want to...
Yes.
Can you, process that? Tell what it is?
Process
That
this substance.
that residue. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Also,
Octa, you good down there? I realized we sent you down and none of us followed you, so...
So anyone, don't forget to bring some lights down here, maybe.
That is a...
It's kind of dark down here. I really wasn't thinking about that.
Block, that is the first thing that you noticed when you jump down. Other than the light that's filtering in from the hole above you, it's very dark down here, and you don't have dark vision.
Yeah,
you
imagine
also,
being one of them races.
As you've been standing down here for a few minutes now, it doesn't smell great.
So lighting a
You guys
match
coming,
isn't
or-
a good idea?
Or not.
Yeah, we're having a little, tete-a-tete, as it were.
I believe that this substance is some form of acid. I don't know that knowing any further will make our results on finding the fireworks any more... it's hard being smart.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm going to grab a lantern and follow after my friend.
That is what I
Let
would
me
recommend.
take a quick look at that substance, and maybe I can tell.
Here, and I hold it up to you.
Based off of my nature abilities, would I be able to figure out?
Go ahead and make a nature check.
I got it. As you held it up, it kind of splashed into my eye. Ouch!
Are you going to go with that? It splashed into your eye?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh,
It would make sense why a nature cleric doesn't
You
understand
take,
things of nature.
You take 1d4 of acid damage as the acid burns your eye. 4 points of acid damage.
Okay, I'll take it. It's
Did you say-
definitely acidic.
That's what I thought.
Did you say it was some kind of dex check to get down this here manhole cover?
You can make a dex check or an acrobatics check if you are proficient in acrobatics.
They're both about the same for me, but I get +1 to acrobatics, so... Well, it's a natural 18, so I guess I'm pretty deft at it.
Yeah, you land with a little bit of a flourish, as Dash would do.
The coat just up behind him. I also have the lantern now.
So, Block, as Dash drops down from above next to you, holding a lantern, you're able to see a little ways down, probably about 30 feet down the tunnel ahead of you.
Well, I just want to look and see, basically track.
Okay, you can make a survival check, or in this case, an investigation check would work.
All right. Okay. So a 13.
Can I help him?
Investigation.
Sure.
Lend my support.
Dash is going to help you, which will allow you to roll with advantage, so you can roll a second time and take the higher of your 2 rolls.
All right. So 25 then.
25, that's a great
Well
roll.
done.
Block, you start looking around, and pretty soon you pick up on some a footpath, a trail leading down the tunnel in a specific direction. Seems that you have picked up the trail of the would-be thieves.
And can I tell anything about the would-be thieves other than the direction?
You can tell that there
would-bes.
were. You can tell that there was several of them, at least 4, to be able to carry all the crates of fireworks. And you can tell that based on the, you rolled the 25. You can tell that based on the depth of their footprints that they obviously were carrying a fairly heavy load, and they were not moving as quickly when they left. Their footprints are spaced a little more closer together.
So they definitely came this way, everyone. Come on. Get down here. It's not too bad. Doesn't smell bad. Actually, it really
Well,
smells bad,
that's-
but I was just trying to encourage you to come
that's-
down here.
Luckily, I
It's a
can
little
turn
relative.
off my smell sensors before I jump
You
down.
are lucky.
Can I take a rope? I assume I can find some rope in here.
If there's an adventurer's pack or an explorer's pack that you wanted to grab, they're in the room. So you can
I'll
be
just grab
outfitted
one of those
with
that has some
and,
rope. Yeah.
General adventurer equipment that you normally would have.
So I use that to get down. I tie a rope and
Okay.
then use that to
Yeah,
get
you
down.
find a spot in the room to tie it off. Make a survival check for me, please.
Certainly.
Let's test your knot tying ability.
Well, let's see. 18 again.
Okay. Yep. You
Decent
tie up a
knot.
good knot and test it. Seems it'll hold your weight.
I have a vast array of knots in my database.
What kind of knot was it?
It was a double Windsor.
Oh no.
Well, it's a nice looking knot, that's for sure. 3 of you all are down in the tunnel. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm going to
Okay.
climb the rope down.
Doki is
Okay.
going to jump down.
All right, Toki, please make an acrobatics or dexterity check for me.
Is 17.
17. Toki, almost as stylishly as Dash, drops down the hole and lands in the sewer below.
I am cat. I always land on feet.
In the water.
Yes, you do.
And what a graceful descent it was.
She lands on her feet and she looks good doing it. Harlock, are you going to use the rope or are you going to cannonball down like the other brave adventurers in your group?
I will use the rope, but then I am going to use my ring of water walking.
Okay.
And walk on top of the liquid.
All right. As you notice that as Harlock reaches the end of the rope and drops down, there is no splash when his feet contact the ground because he is standing on the thin surface of water that's in this area of the tunnel rather than his feet sinking down into it and making contact with the stone tunnels that you're now in. Block has determined that the tunnel heads off to the east. Well, the tunnel stretches off east and west behind you, but Block is indicating that the footprints that he's discovered head towards the east.
Lead the way, Block.
Follow me.
We will
Yes.
follow you.
I'm kind of disappointed because I'm as excited as him to play D&D with all of you. I was really hoping Steve would be here as well. Just because Steve makes me audibly groan with one of his terrible puns every episode without fail. And I was really hoping that I would get to, share in a Steve pun groan with all of you tonight. But
You know, I really have a great love of dad jokes and puns, but I haven't really gotten to flex that muscle because Callum's just not the joking type, if you haven't noticed.
And Callum's a little dour.
Ooh, not a funny guy.
No. You guys follow the footprints for about 15 or so minutes.
13 and a half.
15, 20 minutes. And you reach an area of the sewers where it comes to an intersection. I would like someone, maybe Block, since he's the one that's been doing the tracking, to make another survival or investigation check.
Dash still doing that amazing
Oh, I-
torch wielding.
My torch
Dash
wielding
is.
is
All right.
out of this world.
All right. So I got a 11, 17, and a 17, 23.
You stop for a minute and you reach this intersection, and the footprints seem like things get a little murky. And as you start to look around, you pick up the trail. And you see that it takes off around the corner, and about 20 or so feet down the hall to your left, the footprints disappear. They don't disappear, they just stop. And you don't see a doorway of any kind.
Keep an eye as well for markings of any kind.
The footprints, they just stop over there.
Against the
That
wall?
is unusual.
Do you see anything? I mean, no, they just stop.
Can I, using my knowledge of the city, have a general idea about where we are?
You've moved east of the town square from the barracks. The barracks was just east of the town square outside of it, and you've moved about 15, 20 minutes. You've moved
13 and a half.
you've gone about probably close to a mile at this point. You're in kind of the next district over, and then you've turned north, and so you're kind of you're in an area of town that up above would be kind of maybe a little seedier.
We have entered the seedier part of town. I believe this is where your shop is located, actually.
You know, real estate is cheap out here.
Harlock is going to be
Yes.
pointing up and down, like they may have gone up or down.
Doki is going to go and investigate the top of the pipe and see if they did indeed go up.
So you notice that the footprints stop, but at that point you're very confused. It seems like they just disappeared.
Oof.
I'm going to be looking in the same area.
I want to go past the footprints and just see if there's like a portal or something. I don't know.
JS, since you announced your intentions first, go ahead and make an investigation check.
22.
Harlock, you start looking around, and you realize that on the wall there is a secret door.
You know, Harlow, that is an interesting point you raise.
I'm going to be pointing at the door and kind of framing it with my hands, like a door.
I think he wants a really large meatball.
Well, whoever has the torch, can I kind of gently pull them over towards it to show them?
Dash has the torch. Dash, I'd like you to make a perception check with advantage because Harlock is specifically pointing something out to you.
Ooh, good thing there's advantage involved. Oh, boy. A 16.
It takes a couple of explanations because you've worked with Harlock in the past, so you understand his brand of gibberish, but it's still gibberish. But eventually you catch on that there's a faint outline of a door in the wall.
I'm gonna attempt to, stick a dagger in that outline.
I'm not going to have you roll anything. You play around with it, and after a couple minutes, the wall, it swings on a hinge that's kind of in the center of the panel, kind of. And you see there is a tunnel that was previously hidden. A section of the wall turned kind of very Scooby-Doo style.
I will flourish the light and motion a little bit in.
Congratulations.
Well, I am quite skilled at opening doors. I mean, that's someone else. Never mind.
I was congratulating Harlock in his excellent investigation skills.
Oh, yes, Harlow got that good. Mm-hmm.
You are very welcome, Harlock.
At this
I
point,
will never understand you two.
I would like a marching order. Who was going first?
I'll go first since I'm right there, and he's too afraid to go in.
I'm not afraid. I just don't have good vision in the dark.
Who was following Harlock?
I'll follow.
I will follow behind.
Okay.
I will
With
be
Frank?
following behind Squid's character because I do not have dark vision.
Dash.
Okay, so Dash is going
Dash
next.
Mulaney. Perhaps you've met.
So you all kind of come out like this. You walk a little ways, and it opens up into a little bit of a room. And then ahead of you, you see a hallway that goes off more to the north. And standing right here in front of you is a human man. And he's in kind of these rags, kind of a green... His clothes look a little ragged. He's wearing a green cloak. And he looks at you and he says, "Oi, who you lot be? You're not supposed to be here."
Now, easy. Who exactly are not supposed to be down here? Because I think we have some very official business to tend to in this area.
Right, well, I ain't never seen your faces round here before. And
Well,
so
I've never
I
seen
know
your
who's
face.
supposed to be in here and who's not. And you're not.
We're
Perhaps-
building inspectors.
I would like to tell you about my Lord and Savior.
No, you meant to say we are here for his extended cart warranty.
We're here about Jesus Christ's extended cart warranty.
These other individuals are slightly confused. We are here searching fireworks
Hey, Frank?
that were stolen
Frank?
from
Frank?
the
Hey, Frank.
armory.
Frank?
Yes.
Frank?
Yes.
Mm-mm. You remember that time prior when we talked about not talking?
I do not
Now-
Frank,
recall.
not really better than Pooh.
Now's the time to... sir, if I may, would you mind if I approach you with our orders from the city to inspect the walls?
Well, you could stay right there. Don't come a step closer, you lot. Now, you need to leave now.
Can I, while I'm talking to him, okay, I will say, we do know the password.
While Frank is talking,
Mhm.
I'm gonna stealth and see if I can get around him.
Okay.
I'll use detect
Please
thoughts
make
on
a
him.
stealth check for me.
I'll use detect thoughts after I mention password.
13.
Okay. Well, he rolled a 4. So with his +1, that'll be a 5. So yeah, you slice right into this dude's brain, and boy, is it a mess.
Well, while they're doing that, can I just slowly walk towards him, pull out a piece of parchment that I have?
Yes, go ahead and while you're doing that, make a deception check with disadvantage because your stories have been all over the map.
My story has been consistent, but
He's had lots of stories thrown at him.
Yeah, because this is what happens when you don't let the charismatic characters speak.
It's Dungeons and Dragons, baby.
My first roll was a nat 20. That hurts my soul. Well, that's okay, because my second roll was 11 plus 12, so that'll be a 23.
Josiah?
Yep.
Frank picks up the password is Magpie.
Magpie. Got it. Should have guessed.
They're not very creative.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Dash, you approach him and he's kind of side-eyeing you. He's like, what? Bill,
Now,
inspect
I have
What?
a letter here from the office of the Inspector General, who I'm pretty sure moderates the walls in this place.
Well, we don't recognize any moderation down here.
Dash. You in their mind, you hear the password is Magpie.
I will lean in close to this man and go, well, oh Lord. That's not what I say. I just saw what popped up on the Roll20 scroll.
Jess is getting a little excited.
I was just looking, and then something happened.
I was just cleaning it and it went off.
Suddenly this man burst into flame.
For those listening at home, JS just hit his scorching ray spell.
Surprise!
I will take the paper and go to lean into this man and just go, Magpie.
He says, right, so are you new or something? Because I didn't hear about no new folks. And he glances over at you, Toki, and he says, well, you can stop trying to sneak about now. You're right there plain as day.
I mean, it's just such a better view from this angle, from the conversation.
Yeah, well, that's true. She says a good point. Also, the fact that perhaps you're the new one, because I've been around in this city and this organization for about 2 years now. And you?
Well, I've been here for 3. Make an insight check.
Can I, I'll also pick up the information from his brain, since I'm still in there.
My insight was only 9, so.
Okay. Seems legit, Squid. Frank, 6 months.
That is incorrect. You have only been here for 6 months, and your superior, does he have a superior that he's...
He does.
Now, how would we know you've only been here for 6 months unless we've been here for longer?
He starts getting kind of flummoxed. His superior is a man named Elias.
Your superior, Elias, will not be happy to hear that you are lying and not letting the sneaky...
Okay, just don't be telling Elias nothing about this. Just go on ahead, right? It don't cause no trouble.
Well,
I don't need no trouble.
Elias and I go way back, so what can you offer me so that I don't tell him?
I don't have nothing to offer. I'm just a lookout. I'm offering to let you in. Just go. What kind of shakedown is this nonsense?
You're offering to let us, former members and long-time standing heroes of the Magpies, in? You, who have only been here for 6 months, huh? You're letting us...
I don't have to take none of this. And he just walks off, turns around and walks away.
But wait, I didn't tell you about my Lord and Savior. Or his extended cart warranty.
He just starts walking down the hall. I don't want to hear none of this nonsense.
It was a pleasure.
The way ahead of you is currently unobstructed.
I'll walk
Josiah,
in.
the agent of chaos.
I am not an agent of chaos.
I'm walking forward with a level of confidence that I should not have.
I walk in following the guy who was walking away, just to make sure that
all right.
It seems kind of like we're with him.
So this room that you're entering is kind of a rough square, and you notice that as you enter this room, it's very humid in this room. In fact, there's condensation dripping from the ceiling. This room also smells strongly of chemicals. You see there are 4 more members of the Magpies in here, and they're standing by these strange metal devices that are coming up out of the floor. In the center of the room, you see that there is a what appears to be some kind of grate for liquid to drain in. There is a open pathway on the left and right side of the room, and way to the north, you see a set of stairs. Your buddy here keeps walking. And he says, "Right, just leave well enough alone, Dane." And he continues on in this direction.
Hey, Frank, you know the brain speech that we're doing right now?
Yes.
Why don't you go ahead and tell the others that it might get a little spicy in a second?
All right. As you were walking down the hallway and entering this room, and as you're about to relay this information, just real quick, Frank and Erebrius, I need you to each make a perception check for me. The chemical smell that you're picking up on, to you two, is very familiar. Erebrius, because you've had this chemical now in your eye and in your bloodstream, you've kind of been tasting it in your mouth. And this chemical smell coming from this room matches the acid that was used to make the hole in the floor. Frank, you pick up on the same thing. It's the same stuff in this room.
I'll mention it to everybody.
And if I can see more stuff because of my dark vision, can I message Frank?
Telepathy, in order for it to be two-way, both people have to be telepathic. So Frank can use his mind to speak to you, but unless you are telepathic, you cannot return a message.
I can use message.
Okay.
Yeah. I can only imagine what this message is going to sound like to him.
Well, it's going to sound like... But what he's going to hear is there are 3 people waiting for us, and they don't look nice.
And then I will...
and then I should have also said, and don't say anything out loud.
And then I will relay to well, I'll just say it out loud. Yes, this looks like the substance that was used in our daring heist earlier.
It is making my hair frizzy.
It might make your hair fall out, judging by the acidity level.
As you begin to enter the room, this closest person to you, another one of the magpies, looks at you and he says, "Don't recall seeing you all around here. Were you the folks that were giving old Stevie Joe a bad time there?"
You know, that is often something that I do, but it's just pleasant ribbon between friends.
Have you heard the message about our Lord and Savior and his extended warranty?
No, I haven't.
I'm a stab him.
Okay. Roll to attack. Roll, make an attack roll, Dash.
I bet you wish you had now.
Ooh, if only.
So much for stealthing in here. I mean, we could have...
This is a stealthy stab.
I was going for the non-lethal
16?
achievement, everybody.
A 16 will hit.
This ain't Undertale.
And you will get to apply sneak attack damage since he is surprised.
Surprise!
It don't matter if he's surprised. I'm the only person within 5 feet of him, so... Hello. That's how I like to do things.
Oh, Lordy, I lost a dice.
Uh-oh.
It's all fun and games until someone loses a die.
Oh, no, I found all kinds of things. I lost one.
Do you have any brownies
Sounds like
down
Squid
there?
needs to maybe clean her floor.
Hang on.
Her closet just moved.
This distant voice just, hang on.
The stabbing's taking longer than I expected.
Thick skin. Thick skin.
Dash is just...
That moment in time where everything slows down.
No, it's like the stabbing at the end of Saving Private Ryan is just slowly going in.
Are you talking about the knife fight?
Yeah, where he's just slowly stabbing that dude at the end.
15,
hang on.
only 11 points of damage?
Oh, wait, plus 3. So 14.
Okay. 14. All right.
And then I will step away from him.
Okay. I need everyone to go ahead and move Dash back a step, and then I need everyone to roll initiative. Haberdash, Mulaney, gets to go first with a mighty 28 for
Please,
his initiative score.
It's just Dash. Now, the man that I stabbed, how's he looking?
He looks hurt, surprised, angry, and
Confused?
yeah, all confused, all at the same time.
Do I believe that my compatriots can take care of him?
That's up to you. I don't know if you believe your compatriots can take care of him or not.
I think they're capable. I'm a move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 up here.
Okay.
I'm going to stab this fella.
All right.
I'm going to
Please
use
roll
my
with that.
short sword to do it. And I will apply my sneak attack to this. You know what? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 points of damage for this man.
That hurts. He grunts in pain.
And with my offhand short sword, I will attack him again.
Ooh.
A 15 did hit him. And
Yeah.
a 6 does not. So I will
A 6 does not hit.
I'll give him a little saucy wink. But otherwise,
Do you bonus action disengage to move back?
I do not have to, as I have fancy footwork. I'm a swashbuckler.
Oh, that explains a lot. Okay. All right.
Doesn't it, though? That's how I got my 28.
Toki, Frank, and Harlock, which one of you is going first?
I can go first if that's okay with them.
Yeah, go for it.
So Harlock moves up the tunnel about
Yes.
20 feet into the room.
Sorry.
Okay. That's okay. I'm just...
Yeah, no.
I'm
I know
letting
for
the
listeners.
people who can't see know what's going on.
Yep. And I am going to cast Fear. Should hit everybody in this room, as I now see 4 people.
There are 4 people in the room. So this is a cone, a 30-foot cone that extends directly from you. So you're going to be able to get 2 of these guys, but not all 4.
Can I aim towards the left then and go for those 2 guys?
You certainly can. Yep, you can aim towards the left side of the room and hit those 2 guys.
Okay, so then the
So
spell save DC
they need
is
to
16.
make a wisdom saving throw. What is your spell DC? Should be at the top of your character sheet.
Well, on the bottom, it says spell save DC 16.
Oh, it does say it right there on the spell card. Wow, I'm good at D&D, guys. I'm really
That's
good. This one that's farther to the north, he doesn't seem to be affected, but this one that's closer to you, you see him, his face twists into the one that Dash initially stabbed. His face twists into a mask of fear and pain, and it appears your spell had an effect on him. Okay. Harlock's turn is over. Frank and Toki, who's going next?
Toki, do you want to go? I can't hear you.
I forgot I muted myself so I could eat goldfish. So Toki is going to go and run and go to the guy behind the guy who is now full of fear.
Just going to say that snack of choice is very appropriate.
I know, I was thinking that too.
It is.
It's a little on the nose, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was unintentional. I went into the grocery aisle and I saw crackers and I go, cheese! And that is how that happened. It fell into the basket. Okay, so I'm going to take my claws and I'm going to swipe him. 24.
24 definitely hits.
Do I roll twice for second hand?
Yeah, you can. Do you have 2 attacks?
I have 2 hands. Oh, that one did not hit. I missed
An
it the
8 is a
second time.
miss, so we don't have to worry about it. Go ahead and roll me some damage for that first attack.
Oh, that sucks. 2. Because I rolled a 1.
I think you would
Yeah.
still add your dexterity bonus to the damage.
You are proficient in your claws.
Yes, and I would say that they're probably finesse weapons. So,
6.
yep, you slash him and leave a nasty gash across his chest, and he cries out in pain. Oh, that right, huh?
I'm going to move more towards the middle.
Okay. Is that a bonus action disengage?
Yes.
Okay. Frank, you're up next.
Yes, I will. Since I'm in the front, I'm basically just going to stand up in front I'm going to cast Magic Missile, but I'm flavoring it as more of a mechanical thing. So
Okay, mechanical missile?
Mechanical missile. My chest kind of opens up and like 3 little missiles shoot at, or 4, because I'll cast it at 2nd level.
Okay.
4 missiles will shoot out to hit 1 to each one of the guys in there.
All right, roll me some damage.
All right, let's see. First one is 4. Second one is 2. Third one is 2. Fourth one is 4.
Block, you are up next. You have enough movement that you could get up to that first
Right
guy
here?
that dash stabbed. Yep.
Go, Block, go.
and-
You've got this.
I'm using my long sword. I'm not super excited about this, about going into battle, but I'm using my one long sword because I have dueling. So I rolled a 15. I rolled an 8 and added the 7, so that's a 15.
A 15 hits.
All right. Oh, I rolled an 8.
14.
So that's a 14.
Yeah, nice hit. That's max damage. And then because you are a fighter, you get to attack twice in one attack action, so you get to roll again.
I rolled an 8 again.
All right, that'll hit.
So for the damage, I rolled a 1.
1 plus 6.
People in my
So
card
7.
country call that 7.
All right. Block, after bum rushing this guy and whacking him a couple times with your longsword, he's starting to look very worse for the wear. That and the mask of terror that was on his face when you approached him has only grown into a more terrified mask of terror. I'm a wordsmith, you guys. Watch out.
Ooh,
right.
world famous author.
It is now their turn. First things first, this guy who's scared is going to try to run away. Block, you may use your one reaction to take an attack of opportunity against him. He's not going to try and disengage. He's just scared and trying to run. So as he's running, you get a free shot against him.
All right, so I rolled a 15, so that's a 22.
Yep, that'll hit for sure.
And then longsword in one hand. Rolled a 7.
The first kill of the night goes to Block as the Magpie gang member turns to run and Block cuts him down.
Get that leprechaun.
You should have listened to me about my Lord and Savior.
Maybe he did.
All right. Dash, high or low?
Ooh, low.
All right. You chose low.
Poorly.
What did I choose? Yeah, that's what I expected that sentence to end with.
Okay, so Dash, this Magpie gang member and this Magpie gang member are both going to attack
someone
you.
else. Oh.
They each draw a scimitar out and
It's a dash switch.
swing at you.
Ooh, no.
They swing at you twice each. I assume a 13 will not hit you.
Correct.
That means a 10 will also miss. What about an 18?
18 will hit.
Okay. And then the last attack, that's a nat 20. That hits all day long.
Ooh.
All right, so the first attack, you take 6 points of slashing damage, and the second attack, which is the crit, will be 9 points of slashing damage.
Could be worse, could be worse.
Toki,
Yes.
something different happens for you.
Different good.
Well,
Is it the box?
that depends on how you define good and bad. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay.
It's 13 for audience.
Wow, you met the DC.
Oh,
This guy walks, he's standing in between these two metal pipes that are coming out of the floor, and there's a handle on each one, and he reaches over to this one that you're standing kind of in front of, and he starts pumping the handle, and all of a sudden this green liquid comes shooting out of the pipe, matches the color of the green liquid on the floor. You anticipate this at the last second and move out of the way of the stream of liquid, avoiding taking any damage from it.
there goes one of my lives.
And that is their turn. Arebrius, it is your turn.
Oh, I get to play this game.
It's not my fault you rolled a 5 on your initiative.
Yeah. I'm going to come up here. Do any of the magpies look injured?
Yes. This magpie has some claw-like scratches on his chest, and this magpie has a very nasty-looking stab wound.
Which one?
And there's
looks
this magpie
nastier?
with a bunch of sword wounds to his body.
Yeah. And then there's one that's not moving on the floor.
But he looks injured.
He's playing dead.
All right, well, being as I literally watched this one try to kill my friend, I'm going to cast Toll of the Dead.
Okay.
And I'm going to be like, tell you what, instead of telling you about my Lord and Savior, I'll introduce you.
That's dark.
He needs to make a wisdom save, please.
Okay. 14.
Nope. So he's going to take 1d12, which is only 3 necrotic. That sucks, dude. I should have cast it at a higher level.
You see a spectral bell appear above his head, and it gongs. And as it lets out this ghostly gong sound, you see him kind of shiver as he takes a little bit of necrotic damage.
These guys look like leprechauns.
I'm going to see if my dinner's here. I'll be right
I was about to say, let's
back.
take a quick 5-minute break.
Quick 5-minute break. All right.
But before we do, we need to appreciate the leprechaun dad joke that just happened. Like it should be appreciated. Just
I was going to Leprechaun this year, but it got canceled because of COVID. So
Leprechaun?
yeah,
Is that a convention full of lepers?
yes,
Yeah.
You know why lepers don't use hot tubs, right?
Oh, because then it just turns into soup.
Turns to salsa, but yeah.
My dinner did show up.
Is it salsa? Please be salsa.
I see.
See,
Here's
she
my thing,
carves it
though.
up.
Currently, at this point in my life, I can no longer eat tomatoes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
There's like my body just as soon as I will eat one, I will have like the worst.
Can you eat one right now so we can
Reaction.
see?
Yeah, hang on. Let me go find one. Hang on. All right, I'll be back. Hang
keep
on.
those
Okay.
around.
That's like
Yeah.
asking me to eat shellfish. Like,
I heard mention of burrito when I came back, which is why I was on this tangent of like, man, I love tomatoes.
Speaking of burrito, it's your turn, Dash.
yes,
yeah.
it is your turn, Dash.
Oh, it is it?
It is your turn. We are back round to the top of the initiative order.
Good. I had a question.
Oh, I have an answer.
Where did my friend go? Not these two that were trying to end my life, but the one that, believed we worked for him.
He is not in this room. You do not see Stevie Joe.
But which direction did he head? Because I assume I could see the room.
You saw him go down this doorway here on the right side of the room.
Great. I would like to bonus action to disengage.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
30, 32. Sold.
To the north, you see a door.
Yep, I'd like to head that direction.
Okay.
That's my...
Do you have enough movement to get that far? 5, 10,
Yes.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45.
My
That's
bonus
50.
action was to disengage. My movement, my action to move as well. Speed of
So you
movement.
dashed. You
Yes,
dashed.
I
Okay.
did. Dash did indeed dash his way over.
It's a
Okay.
Is this door locked?
little on the
On
nose.
Dasher.
Are you going to try to open it?
You know what? Caution to the wind. Let's open the door.
Eric kills players. I'm just putting that out there.
I believe that this man left prior to this little skirmish, so he won't know what's happening. I'ma just casually and with the utmost collection of self open this door.
Okay. You casually and with the utmost of self, confidence of self, open this door and enter the room.
Well, I don't know about that, but I do open the door.
Okay, you open the door, and when you open the door, you see a room larger than the one you were just in. It's kind of hexagonally shaped.
Should I move one step forward?
You can move one step into the room, and we'll say that is you looking into the room. It will. I won't charge you for the movement. So this is what you see in the room. You see 3 Magpie gang members. Stevie Joe, whose acquaintance you've made, is this guy right here. And he looks at you and says, "Oh, you again?" And he says, "So, you've been busted up. What kind of trouble are you?"
You know, I find myself to be in a lot of trouble a lot of times.
The other two look at Stevie Joe, and they look at you, and they draw their swords.
Now, fellas, I believe we can come to a mutual understanding here.
Boy, that's right, we can. And unless you want to step back out of the room, that's enough conversation for 6 seconds.
I will not step out, but I will, put a hand to my coin purse.
Okay. All right. Are you still at the door?
Yes.
Okay. Harlock, 'tis your turn.
I'm gonna magic missile the three guys in here.
If you cast it at level 1, it'll be 3 darts, and you get 1 additional dart per level that you cast it. You can direct them all to the same person, or you can split them up amongst the 3 however you wish.
Where's our one that hasn't been hit? The one in the middle? Or has that one been hit now too?
All 3 of them have been hit, but the one in the middle of the room has been hit the least.
I'm gonna hit all 3 of them. I'll trust my friends to do stuff.
Magic missile automatically hits, so roll 1d4 plus 1 for each one.
I'm trying.
You got this.
It's just slow.
You're slow.
You're slow.
The AARP Dungeon League believes in you.
You know what's faster? Real dice.
Yeah.
Which you can buy from Sage's Portal. Harlock, is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
I guess I will take a couple steps back just to get out of other people's way.
Toki, you're up.
Okay, am I close enough to dude over here that I can touch him?
Yes.
My dear friend. And I'm going to grab his shoulder, or kind of close to his neck, shoulder, and cast Firebolt.
All right.
Cast Fireball.
No, bolt.
I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast Fireball.
This is a perfect room for Fireball.
So roll a d20 and add your ranged spell attack modifier.
Okay, that would be 4,
Okay.
I think. I'm bad at the math part of this.
Is your intelligence modifier 1?
Yes.
Okay. 3 plus 1 is still 4.
Okay, just checking. You know, D&D has weird rules.
As far as I know, it hasn't changed the rules of math.
Well, you know, the numbers in my head go backwards sometimes, so we just don't trust them.
All right. Then, yes, add 4 to your roll.
Okay. Don't follow.
Common Core.
No, homeschool. 20.
Whoa.
A 20 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
11.
Ouch. You see Toki reach out and touch this Magpie gang member behind her, and then a bolt of fire leaps out of her hand and burns this gang member, and he howls in pain. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw because you were standing in a pool of acid, Toki.
Oh no. 19?
19. You will take half damage because you saved. So you will take half of 2 points of acid damage, which is 1. 1 point of acid damage. The bottoms of your feet are starting to hurt.
Now I still have a movement, yes.
Yes, you still can move. You are a rogue, so I will friendlily remind you can use your bonus action to disengage because you are a rogue.
Oh.
If you
That's
choose
rude.
not to use your bonus action to disengage, then he will swing at you.
Okay. I forgot rogues could do that. So
That's
I'm
okay.
going to
I know you don't normally play a rogue, so I'm reminding you.
I'm going to disengage and then move.
Okay, Frank, you're up, man. Or robot.
Yeah, I have a question for you here.
I have an answer.
So on the Thunderclap cantrip.
That hits everybody.
That hits everyone, correct?
It's everyone in range, yep.
Okay, and it's so that would be all the peoples.
You're not
would it
Pooh,
include
you're
people-
Frank.
Would it include the people in the next room too?
No.
Okay, just the ones here.
Yep. Just the ones within range. It's the walls would stop it, essentially.
And I've got 3 people in here.
Is it 10 or 15 feet radius?
Well, so it can be heard for 100 feet.
Yeah, they'll hear it.
And I'm trying to... So technically, it looks like that's what I was trying to figure out. It's a 5-foot radius, which is weird, but that's what it technically is. So it would only be the person that I'm next to in that case, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
In that case, I'll probably just use Shocking Grasp instead.
Okay. Yeah, it's loud, and you're in a an area that's completely made out of stone walls, stone floor, stone ceiling, and you understand the principles of acoustics. So
I think better of it. So I take a step forward up to a guy right in the corner there. I lay my hand on him, and a bolt of electricity shoots down into him. And he needs to, let's see, I roll melee spell. So that looks like a 12.
You miss. He jerks his arm back as you reach out to grab him.
Is he wearing armor that is metal?
No, he is wearing leather armor.
Okay. So I won't have advantage on that.
Okay. Block, you are up.
The acid is basically right above the dead guy, right?
Yes.
There's a pool of acid there.
Yeah. Any place that you see those green puddles on the floor is the range that the acid can spray into from these tubes that are sticking up out of the floor.
And so for this combat, are these so where the dead guy is, and then where the pipe is that an obstruction? Can I walk through that or not?
You can walk through the space that the pipe is in. There's enough room there that you can walk around it. The dead guy isn't really going to slow you down. You can step over him.
Okay. That would put me in range to attack this guy?
Yes, it will.
Okay. And then I'm going to attack that guy. So.
All right. So Block moves forward one step and swings at the magpie gang member in the center of the room.
My long sword. And I rolled an 18, and I add... All right, so 25.
25 hits.
All right, and then the damage is... So I rolled a 6 plus 6, so 12.
All right. You take a mighty slash, and he's not looking well.
And then I get to do another attack action?
Yep, you get to attack twice because you are a level 5 fighter. You get 2 attacks per round.
So that time I rolled a 16...
That'll hit. A 23 will hit. Yep.
Yeah. And I roll the 6 again.
All right.
So another 12.
He's looking to be on death's door. He's looking very unhealthy. Very seriously wounded.
It's a flesh wound.
I'll bet
very deep flesh wound.
Well, this gentleman, who you tried to grab, Frank, is going to swing at you with his scimitar.
I'm sure he is. Good thing I'm a wizard, didn't have great AC.
You're a wizard, Frank.
You're a wizard, Frank.
Well, we're in the sewers, so it's a good place to have a whiz.
Oh.
Does a 15 hit you, Frank? I think it does.
It does. Well, yeah. If it mine is 15 because you gave me 15.
That is true. So he hits you with both of his scimitar attacks. So my next roll was a 23. You will take... First attack does 8 points of slashing damage. Mm-hmm. And the second attack does 7 points of slashing damage.
Good. Ow, that hurt.
And then evens or odds, Frank?
Oh, you know me. I'm odd.
This gentleman looks at Block and says, "You're going to pay for that." And he swings at you twice. So he hits you the first time. Second attack is a natural 17. So with his modifier, that'll hit as well.
Okay.
So he hits you back twice. Did you take a shield?
I did not take a shield.
Okay.
No, I did take a shield.
Okay, so with his shield, when you have your shield out, your AC is 19, just so you know. He rolled over that times, but a shield gives you a +2 to your armor class. So your AC is 19 when you have your shield out, 17 without it. First attack does 5 points of damage. Second attack does 4 points of damage. So you take a total of 9.
All right.
And then this last one is going to swing at you, Toki.
Oh no.
That is a 17 to hit
Oh no.
and a 24 to hit.
I think that just took lives 7 and 6.
The first attack will do 6 points of damage, and the second attack will do 9 points of damage. That's 15 slashing damage.
Oh, okay.
And then Dash,
I was attempting to, reason by way of money.
they look at you and they say, "Why are you all cut up? What are you doing down here?"
You remember that tabaxi I was with? And I look at Stevie.
Stevie says,
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was in here with a tabaxi. Did she cut you up?
We have a history, as it were, if you know what I mean. And I give a wink.
"All right, make a quick deception check."
Sure. Oh, that's a natural 19, and I'm guessing with my plus bajillion.
They put their
Plus
swords back in their...
12.
You rolled a 12?
I rolled a 19, and I have plus 12.
Oh, plus 12. So that's, yeah. So they rolled high, but you outrolled them because you have a massive bonus. They kind of narrow their eyes and put their swords back, and they say, "This tabaxi, this guy over here that you've been talking to says, this tabaxi, Lice, she's still down here."
Yeah, she's back in the other room, but our quarrel is more of a personal nature, if you know what I mean.
"Just lead the way, we'll finish her off."
No, I don't, My mother-in-law would be upset if that happened.
Erebrius, it's your turn. Did you just insinuate you're married to a cat lady?
Maybe.
That
Madam?
conversation got weird for me, so I'm just going to ignore it and move my character there. So now I am flanking.
That you are.
And I'm going to pull out one of my bigger guns and cast Inflict Wounds on this guy.
Oh, that's overkill.
Don't make me feel like I'm doing something stupid.
No.
It's very smart.
Just in case you want to change your mind, this is the guy that's mostly dead.
Oh.
You watch Block lay into this guy at the center of the room.
Okay, then I am going to cast Sacred Flame upon him.
Okay.
And he needs to make a dex save.
18.
Well, crap. All right. For my bonus action, I am going to use my hidden step.
Okay.
So I am invisible until the start of my next turn.
All right. You guys see Erebrius seemingly disappear. Dash, it's your turn.
Oh, is
Lover's quarrel, eh?
Yeah, well, that happens time to time. How familiar are you?
We don't get too many lady folk down this way.
Perhaps you should head up their way more often.
Right, well, Elias has been keeping us busy lately, with his plot to take over the city.
Perhaps I can talk to Elias on your behalf, then.
Right, well, you know where to find him. Stevie Joe mentioned there was some long-standing members don't rightly remember you. I've been with the Magpies a long time.
Things move around so often lately that I don't rightly know where things are situated this day.
Well, Elias is up that way, and he points off to the north.
Mighty kind of you. Now, y'all are doing good work, and I appreciate you. I'm going to just start walking away.
Okay. So you see there's a grate down here.
Did he mean up north through this, sewage acid area? Or,
Sure did.
north this way?
No, he meant north this way, up through the sewage acid area.
Great. Love that for me. All right. Fellas, you happen to know a safe way up this path?
You don't know how to get to Elias's room? I thought you said you were a member here.
I was, but you know, this whole new insurgence is, as I said, new.
Right, well, you know, if you've been hanging around here lately, you'd have the right kind of equipment to make it up through that passage.
You would think, but I've been topside a lot more lately.
Huh. Interesting. Well, if you ain't got the equipment, you can go back downstairs, you know, through the grate and all to get it.
Now, I'm assuming you fellas have the right equipment, and for the right amount of gold, perhaps I could buy it off of you. Probably more than Elias is willing to pay you.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. I'd love to make one. Ooh. 28. I got...
What you offering?
2 skills.
Make this quick. This is a long 6 seconds. What you offering?
Yes. I will hand them 10 gold.
One of them pulls this strange mask off of his belt. It's got sort of this glass that goes over the eyes, and it seems to be made out of some kind of cloth. And there's a weird can where your mouth would be. And then he has these galoshes on, and he steps out of the galoshes and hands them to you. The galoshes slid over his boots.
You know, I appreciate you, and I think you're doing a great job. I'm sure Elias hasn't told you that lately. That's the end of my turn.
All right, Harlock, it's your turn.
Yeah, I have so many evocation things that I should have been. I should have been saying stuff every time I did things. Can I do magic missile again, or no? Okay,
you absolutely can.
Well, I don't know, Josiah. I'm new with this magic stuff. I just
You're doing
now
a great
started
job. You've cast more spells than any of our regular sessions.
I know.
Yeah, so you've used a level 3 slot and a level 1 slot. So you have 3 level 1 spots left. So you can cast another level 1 magic missile, or you can cast it at level 2 or level 3.
I'll do
whatever spell slot you prefer.
Yeah, I'll do level 1, and I'll do 1 at the weak guy and then 2 at the other guy.
All right, so your first magic missile slams into the magpie gang member in the center of the room, and he drops to the floor, no longer breathing. Your other 2 slam into this guy, dealing 9 points of force damage to him, and he's starting to look a little on the rough side. Anything else you want to do in your turn, Harlock? And now I'm going to roll attacks for Toki. Toki's going to draw her short sword and a dagger. She's going to attack with her primary attack with her short sword. And that'll hit. And then she'll attack with her dagger as an offhand attack for a bonus action. That will also hit. So that's 6 points of piercing damage with her short sword. And then with her dagger, she'll do an extra d4, which is another 3 points. And this guy he's looking really rough. Frank, you're up.
All right, I will look at this guy again, and I'm like, let's try this again. And I go to grab him. I'll use my portent ability.
Okay.
So I rolled a 14 before, so I'll take that plus my 6. So that will give me...
That'd be 20. A 20. That would
dirty
hit.
20 to hit.
Yep.
That'll be 8 damage.
Okay.
As the lightning goes from my fingertips into this guy.
All right. His teeth clench together as you shock him with your grasp.
Okay.
He kind of does that weird convulsing thing that people do when they get shocked.
Yep. That's it.
Block, you're up.
Who's going to move by the pipe here?
Yep.
and attack this gentleman. Ooh, I rolled a 20.
All right. So the way that works, that's a critical hit. So when you roll damage, you will double the total on your die and then add your modifier to it.
Okay. And that was a 7, so 14.
And then, so 14 plus 6 will be 20.
So it's 20. I guess...
you smack him once, and he drops like a bag of moldy tangerines.
Nice word picture.
Since I'm a kind, benevolent dictator, if you want to move the rest of your movement, you have enough to move over here and use your second swing on this guy.
Okay. And I rolled a 10 and add a 7, so 17.
17 hits.
Wait. Okay.
Yep, that's correct.
Damage. Damage, I rolled a 1. And
so you do 7. So, yeah, you do 7 points of damage. All right. This last guy looks around the room. He's not looking healthy at all. He drops his weapons and he says, "Right, I surrender. Just please don't kill me. I don't want to die. Working for Elias isn't worth all this." That's his turn. These guys up here in the room, with you, Dash, this guy leaves because he doesn't have his PPE anymore. And this guy goes back to whatever he was doing, and Stevie Joe just kind of starts picking his nails. Erebrius, it's your turn. This Magpie member has just attempted to surrender. He's dropped his weapons and thrown his hands up in the air.
Okay, well, my invisibility wears off at the beginning of my next turn for the feat that I used, so that's a thing.
All right. Erebrius rematerializes.
Yeah, I see the guy at the end of the hall.
Yeah, you don't recognize him. You see him come out of the door.
Would I be able to fire off a hold person on him?
Yes, because you have the initiative.
15.
It doesn't matter. I bet it's higher than 7. Okay, he fails, so he is held.
You got that.
Yeah, so he's just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, he freezes in mid-step, and the door swings closed behind him. Dash, it is your turn.
You know, I'll just don this PPE equipment.
Okay.
And wait for whatever may happen in the next room.
You slip on the galoshes, and are you going to put the mask over your face?
I think that would be the best course of action, given that I quite enjoy the way my face currently looks.
Okay. Make a Constitution save for me real quick.
Oh, lordy.
So, you know when you put on a mask that's been worn by somebody else and they have really bad breath?
Ew.
That happens.
Ew.
But you rally despite it. But it doesn't smell nice in this gas mask.
Well, you know, I've had quite my fair share of unpleasant odors close to my face, so I will soldier on.
All right, Harlock. Harlock, it is your turn. This guy has just surrendered. Do you wish to do anything?
I almost want to do something non-lethal to knock him out, so he won't go warn anybody anything.
You can make an attack against him with the intent of knocking him out.
Come on, man, finish him off.
You can roll to attack. You can move up there and roll to attack with advantage.
Yeah.
Since he is in the act of surrendering, he's not going to resist an attack.
Yeah, and I'll use I have like a hilt to something.
But you have at least a quarterstaff.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll use that.
Oh yeah, 25 hits, easy. So you crack him on the head with your quarterstaff.
Okay.
All right, yeah. Harlock, you walk over there, crack him on the head with your quarterstaff, and his eyes roll up in his head, and a lump forms on his forehead as he falls to the ground unconscious. He is knocked out.
I say we handled that rather well.
Can we go up here now?
Up where?
This way. Oh, and take their robes.
I was going to say,
All right. Well, I'll look at one of the ones by me, and
You notice that in this room, these 4 guys all have these bigger boots, galoshes that slip over their regular boots. Otherwise, they don't have any other protective equipment.
So just the boots.
Just the boots.
Well,
Put on their clothes.
Yeah,
I'll take.
Actually, you know what? That's not true. They also have very heavy gloves that they were wearing on their hands.
Well, I'll put on boots and gloves.
yeah.
Okay.
Should we put? I'll ask Frank if we should put the cloaks on to try to pretend like we're the other people.
Yes, that has a. Let's. What do I think?
Arebrius, you see that this guy does not have the boots, gloves. He just has his cloak.
All right. I'm gonna take his cloak.
Okay. You take the green cloak off of his back and throw it on.
Yep.
It's pretty small.
And then I'm also going to use my Furbolg magic to use disguise self.
Okay.
So I'm going to make myself look like him.
All right. You look like a very tall version of him.
I can make myself up to 3 feet shorter, so I look like him.
All right. You look like him.
Should we leave Toki here to stand guard?
Yes, Toki, you stay right here.
Toki says, "No, I will go with you. Gloves and boots look like a good idea. I normally don't do this, but I think is exception. The acid hurts my feet."
And she puts the gloves on and the boots.
It
and
seems to
throws
make
a
your voice
green
a
cloak
little
over her
deeper
shoulders.
as well.
Yeah.
The fumes make my throat scratchy. What can I say?
Puberty hits at the strangest times.
All right, well, I get in the cloak. and
We
the
shall
boots.
call her Foki.
Yeah.
Just gonna ask, like, this guy's unconscious. Can we tie him up, or how do we?
Yeah, you can tie him up if you'd like.
Okay. I'd like to tie him up, and while I'm doing that, the other thing is, how does a healing potion work?
If you're not in combat, you can just drink the healing potion, and it restores. You roll 2d4, and you add 2 to your roll, and it restores that many that many points, and then it's consumed. It's gone. During combat, it requires an action to consume it. But we're not in combat anymore, so you could just, if you want to pop it now, you could pop it now and drink
Maybe
it.
Toki should.
Well,
pop
I'm
it
actually
now.
going to.
I'm just saying Toki might want to take it too, because then she take a lot of damage.
She took a fair chunk of damage. In fact, I think that's a good idea. Toki will use her healing potion, so I will. Are you going to feed it to this guy that's on the ground, Ben?
I am, yes.
Okay. Yeah, you can force feed him. Toki will heal 7 points.
So roll 2d4.
Roll 2d4, and then add 2 to the total of your roll.
3, 7, 9.
Okay.
And he wakes back up.
He wakes back up. Make a survival check for me to see how well you did tying him up.
Okay.
Roll d20 and add your the total next to your survival skill.
He was in the block scouts, so.
Oh, I rolled a natural 20.
Okay.
And then I add 1.
All right, so you rolled a 21. So just a little reminder, in combat, a 20 is always a hit and a 1 is always a miss. On skill checks, a 20 is the best you can do, but it's not necessarily always a success, just depending on what the DM sets the difficulty rating or the DC at. But a 21 is a very good roll. You tied him up very tightly.
And then I also whisper to him, "You made the right choice. Don't waste my health potion. I'm with you. I've been where you are, and you need to, as soon as you get untied, get out of here."
Okay. Are you going to gag him at all, or are you?
Oh yeah, because I don't want him talking.
Okay. All right. So you also take a second to gag him as well. He kind of nods his head, and he looks kind of just resigned to his fate. He's not squirming around or anything. He's just laying there on the floor. Toki follows the sound of Arebrius's voice and goes around the corner here.
And did Dash go the same way or a different direction?
Dash went the same way that Arebrius went.
Okay, so then I'll head that way as well.
Dash, while these guys are doing their thing, are you waiting for them, or are you going to start heading off without them?
Well, I don't quite know that they're following me
Okay.
at present. I did leave the door open. Would I know that they are coming?
When this guy left the room, he closed the door behind him.
Oh, well, that is unhelpful, to say the least. Thank you, DM.
But he knows us.
So you do not know that they are coming.
I will just, give a little nod towards the other two in this room with me.
John, what's the duration of hold person? It has been more than a minute. The hold person.
Hold on. Has it been 10 rounds?
In the time that it took for these guys to gather stuff up, tie this guy up, depending on how long you have been waiting, Erebrius has been in the hallway.
I would like to submit that I have not been waiting.
It's been a few minutes, so it's been more than a minute.
Casually be walking my way up this waterway.
All right.
I would have known when we were getting close to the time. I would like to submit that I would have also bound and gagged this gentleman in this hallway while he was still paralyzed.
Please make a survival check for me.
It's one of my best skills. That's a 26, sir.
Wow. All right. You tie him up like a true Furbolg scout would. And when he comes to, while I'm waiting for everybody else, I'm just sitting there down by his ear, and I'm just proselytizing to him while I'm whispering in his ear. All right, you guys come around the corner and you see this guy bound and gagged, and you see Erebrius whispering.
I look just like him. I look like him.
You see a guy that looks just like the guy that's bound up, whispering in his ear.
Hello, friend. I see you found another one.
Yes, and I was just letting him know about my Lord and Savior.
Yes, it's you. Very convincing costume.
Thank you. I did it myself.
Dash, at this point, you have made it probably up at least around the corner and up the hallway here. You see it stretches on around ahead of you.
Oh boy. What do I see around this here corner?
You see that it bends around to your left.
And if I step up a bit?
You see that it goes around in what seems like maybe what should be a kind of like a square. You see there's a bunch of rubble piled up right here, kind of blocking off this portion of the passage. And then around to the north, you see that it continues on. Are you just sloshing along?
I'm just casually walking my way with a level of confidence that says I know what I'm doing. I don't have a clipboard, but you can imagine that I might.
Okay. We'll stop right there. What are you going to do with this guy now? Are you going to move him out of the way? Slide him on down the hall?
Yeah, probably. That would make sense.
Right. Play curling with him? I don't know.
We'll just do a fireman relay down the hallway with his body.
Okay. Great. There is a door directly in front of you all.
I'm going to go through it.
Okay. You go through the door, and you see the lookout that you encountered earlier, just kind of standing there picking his fingers with a dagger, and another Magpie gang member looks like he's working on some mechanisms on this pipe, and he sees you come through the door, and he says, "Oi, what, you're back? Why don't you go get some more gloves and boots and come on back here? Get a mask, too."
They were out.
Make a deception check.
Yeah, with that voice.
It disguises my body, not my voice. That's a 4 deception.
A 4?
As it should be.
He looks at you and he goes, "What are you on about? What's wrong with your voice? You ain't Earl."
Actually,
I am Earl. I inhaled some of the fumes in the other room.
And this guy looks at Sammy Joe and he goes, "That don't sound like Earl. What do you think, Sammy?" And Sammy goes, "Nah, that's not Earl. Let's get him." And they begin to move toward you.
You know, I try to do things non-lethal, but the Lord just makes me murder in his name.
I'd like to submit that JS is over here calling me out for separating the party, but I'm just advancing the plot. I am avoiding combat. I'm trying to get us to a
You
place.
started the combat.
I'm avoiding combat. Stab, stab, run.
Hey, DM.
You started it and ran away. My character is seething right now.
DM.
Yes.
Listen.
Do I see this footbridge up here?
That is not a footbridge.
More of a hand bridge.
So there's a set of stairs that leads to this room, splitting it into 2. Here, the smell of acid is almost overwhelming, accompanied by an unpleasant undertone of refuse. A river of green liquid runs through the room, with 3 pumps, each in half of the room. The liquid is steaming.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the 2 that are approaching towards me, and I'm just going to say, the password is magpie.
Sammy Joe says, "Right, well, that is the password." And this one looks at you, and he crosses his arms, and he says, "Well, of course, the Earl knows the magpie is the password, but you don't sound like no Earl."
And then I'll use my ability to encode thoughts, and I put a finger to my head. So since I assume he'll be thinking about what his voice sounds like.
Yes.
I will modify that memory to sound like
what Earl sounds like.
What Earl sounds like.
Arebrius, you see these guys kind of stop, and they both kind of blink their eyes in a confused fashion for a second, and they go, "Oh, Roy, sorry about all that, Earl. Obviously it's you." So this one shakes his head and goes back to what he was doing, working on this pipe over here. And Sammy Joe goes back to picking his fingernails with his dagger.
Hey, so being as they were out of boots, can I borrow one of your guys's?
Sammy Joe says, "Right, well, I'm not really on duty in this room, so you can have mine. I'm not mucking around in any of this garbage."
Okay.
And he takes his galoshes off and his gloves and hands them to you.
And I take them, and then I say,
All right.
and then I say to him, "A new recruit came through here earlier. Did you see where he went?"
You talking about that fancy guy? Yeah, he ended up buying, yeah, you were here, Earl.
Well,
He
yeah.
bought your stuff and went off to the north.
Oh, I didn't see where he went. I was too busy leaving to get new stuff.
Right, well, he was asking after Elias, and so we pointed him off in that direction, and that's why he went.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if he followed through with that or not.
Yeah, he went off to the doors up here, and he points off to this set of doors on the north side of the room.
Well, you know how crabby the boss can get. I better go follow the new person, otherwise they're going to make a faux pas.
What? You can say that again. Oh, what's a faux pas?
A faux pas is, and I proceed to define it for them.
Have you all entered the room, or is it just Arebrius in the doorway?
I was just going to ask if we could or not.
You can if you want.
I have other new recruits with me. That's the reason why he kind of ran ahead.
Okay.
We'll come into the room at that point.
All right, new recruits. We have to go north to meet the boss. And catch up with the guy who ran off on his own. Follow
Sir.
me.
All right.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna cut back to Dash. Make a perception check for me real quick, Dash.
Well, I'd sure love to. 17 plus 5 is... Someone do that math for me.
That'd be 22. So you hear some different things. First of all, from the north here, you hear some movement. It's difficult to tell how many people are in the room, but you can tell there's multiple people in the room. There's voices, but they're kind of muffled by masks, so you can't really hear the conversation. And then echoing up the hallway from the south, you hear some familiar voices having conversation with some other less familiar voices.
You know, I'm gonna just casually stand here and listen to said muffled voices. See if I can figure out what they're saying while waiting for said loud voices behind me.
Okay, it's very difficult to hear because part of you hear the sound of rushing liquid, like the sound of like water pouring constantly. So that's also making the conversation to the north difficult to hear, with the fact that whoever's in there is, something is covering their face. You can tell, you can kind of hear that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd like 2 Big Macs and...
And then?
No, and then.
Make another perception check for me this time. I'm going to say with disadvantage. There's a lot of background white noise that's kind of making the conversation to the north difficult to hear.
Well, that's still not bad. That's, 5, 6, 17.
You hear him say, we need to get the explosives ready to move. Things are going to happen in a few more hours. Something to that effect. What is the marching order for you guys?
Well, I'm posing as the veteran leading new recruits, so I have to go first.
So, Rebrius, you're going to go first. Who's going to follow Rebrius?
I'll follow him.
Okay. So, Rebrius, Frank, who's next?
I guess I'll come in next. And these boots, for sure, like what we've got, the galoshes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems that anyone who has been working with this acid, they've been wearing these galoshes, and they seem to be protecting them from the acid. And these galoshes are pretty, they're almost thigh high, so they're pretty big.
They're like hip waders. Thigh-high galoshes.
Almost, yeah, they're like hip waders almost, but not quite. As you come around the corner, you see Dash standing and listening intently at another set of doors that seem to open to the north.
Dash sees the guy that he bought the gear off of coming around the corner.
Well, Dash, make a perception check as you're listening to this conversation to see if you notice the folks approaching from the hall behind you.
My character walks like a Muppet, so...
And his hands aren't really attached very well to his arms. And they kind of flop
19.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I forgot to unmute myself when I said my answer.
18. Yeah, as you're listening to this conversation, you hear some splashing, and you turn around and look, and Earl, the guy that you bought the galoshes, gloves, and mask off of, you see him coming around the corner, and then following him is the rest of your group. Minus Erebrius. You don't see Erebrius.
This fella that I bought the gear off of, is he no longer wearing said gear?
He is wearing new gear. You see that he is wearing a gloves and galoshes. None of the people approaching are wearing masks, though. You guys see Dash, and as he turns around, you see he has this strange mask over his face.
Fellas?
I have words for you if we survive this.
Well, I'd be happy to hear them.
I am always happy to hear words. Very nice.
Anything specific you would like to share with me?
When we get through this alive, unlike the people I left behind, we're dead.
I would like to submit that I'm not responsible for any of the deaths that may have occurred.
Neither am I. I believe it was you who did most of the killing.
Yes, that's my point.
Your point is...
Are you to insinuate that now what you have done on your own volition is my fault?
We'll talk later.
Well, I look forward to that exchange. Now, perhaps if you would all quiet and listen, it seems as though the fellas up ahead are speaking about some kind of explosion later today.
You all now can hear, as you quiet down, muffled conversation coming from the room to the north.
Muppet conversation?
Muffled.
I'm going to step into that room.
This is the worst show I've seen in a long time.
I'm going to look at these guys and I'm going to be like, "Hi, fellas. I have some new recruits that need to see that the boss wants to see. We're just passing through."
You see 3 people in this room. You see 2 magpies, each holding crossbows, and they, as you enter, they kind of lift them towards you, and they sort of lower them when they see you, Erebrius. And then when you mention the boss, you see this man turn around. He's wearing all 3 of these people are wearing masks, like what Dash is wearing, and they're wearing galoshes and gloves. When you mention the boss, this man turns around and looks at you and he says, "Well, that's me.
Oh, there you are."
"Yes, here I am." And he looks at you and he says, "I don't remember there being any new recruits, Earl, if that is indeed your real name."
Elias, is that you?
You see his head cocked to the side and he says, "Yes, my name is Elias."
And you don't remember me? Well, I am quite upset by that fact.
He says, "Had I encountered a dandy such as you, sir, I would certainly have remembered him."
Well, I'm glad that you think you would remember me. I am upset that you don't.
Anyone who dresses such the fop as you is hard to forget.
Well, anyone that dresses like you is also quite hard to remember.
He shrugs and says, "Forgive me for being pragmatic, I guess."
Oh,
Says,
congratulations!
He narrows his eyes at you and he says, "Earl is a bit of a dunce, but not quite that stupid. Who are you?"
Dash Mulaney, owner of So Perfect, and I think you could use my services.
He nods his head at you, Dash, and says, "I wasn't inquiring your name yet. I was speaking to the would-be Earl here who has approached."
He looks at him and goes,
"What?
Allow me to tell you about my Lord and Savior."
He shakes his head and he says, "You are certainly not Earl." And he chuckles and he says, "No matter. You never should have come here. But you can have a taste of my invention before you depart. Like you ought to roll initiative." Dun, dun, dun.
Boss fight.
You also see in the far north side of the room, there is a couple of large chests over here on this little island.
Do they have the name MacGuffin written across them?
Nah, unless you want them to.
I believe they say mimic on them.
No, those just say rar. Dash, it appears that you're at the top of the initiative order again. Imagine that.
What? Pardon?
You, sir, get to go first.
Now tell me, is this friend Erebrius up here? Erebrius?
Erebrius, you said it right.
Erebrius, you had it right.
Ari. Yeah, Ari. Are you up there next to Elias?
I am.
He is, but Elias is on a platform that's a little bit elevated, so he has some elevation on Erebrius.
He has the high ground. He has the high ground.
He has the high ground. That's right.
But they're engaged.
I suddenly want some roasted marshmallows.
However, I would say that this guard fella off to my left is not currently engaged.
He is not, and he is pointing a crossbow in your general direction.
So if I were to move, 5, 10, up yonder, to be in range of him, that would be suitable.
Yes, I will need you to make an athletics check to scramble up the wall there. It's about a good 5 or 6 feet. Or acrobatics.
Oh, all right. All right. Okay.
Or
all
acrobatics.
Right. Okay. All right. 15.
Yeah, a 15 will allow you to move up there.
That's good, because otherwise it would have been a 10. So, now that I am upon this platform, I will give him the old 1-2, as it were.
Always start
All right.
with the violence.
You know, I can't deny my true nature.
Dash starts the fights. He just never finishes them, apparently.
You know? You know? That's not wrong. A 12?
No, a 12 will not hit.
With my offhand, a dirty 20.
That will hit.
Alright, so we'll do 6, and we will apply a sneak attack to that offhand damage. 11 points of damage.
All right, he grunts as your second attack connects.
And I will move my body up this direction.
Okay. Is that
Which
it?
to say, to the north or northerly direction for those listening at home.
Toki will yield to you, Frank.
In that case, I want to get behind someone, and then I will cast a slow. So for that, 40-foot cube, 6 creatures of my choice. So I'll choose all 3 of the guys in here. There's 3, right?
Yeah.
So they have to make a wisdom save of 14.
Wisdom save. The first one rolls a 16. The one on the left. The one on the right rolls a 4. So he is slowed.
Okay, so that's a -2 penalty to AC and dexterity saving throws, and it can't use reactions. On its turn, it can either use an action or a bonus action, not both.
Okay. And then I will roll for Elias. He rolled a 10. Actually, he rolled a 12, which still fails.
Yep.
So
and it can't,
he is slowed as well.
Yep. Can't make more than 1 melee or ranged attack during its turn.
Toki, since they cannot make a reaction, because they are slowed, Toki is going to move here. She's going to make an acrobatics check to get up there. There's Toki's sheet. That is not Toki's sheet.
It's an accident.
Acrobatics. Oh, yes. 18. She gets up there just fine. She is flanking, and so she is going to attack with advantage against Elias with her short sword. And her first roll was an 18 to hit. I think that'll hit him. Let me double check. Yep, that hits Elias, and then she gets to add her sneak attack damage as well. 3d6. All right, so she deals 7 points of damage with her short sword, and then an additional 13 sneak attack damage. So that is 20. And then she will use her offhand weapon and attack a second time. But she misses with a 9. That is the end of... and then... Is that a bonus? I think that's a bonus action, right? If she uses her offhand? Yeah, okay, so she won't do anything else. Yeah. Toki's turn is over. Harlock, it is your turn. Well, Harlock and Erebrius, who's going to go first?
I don't care. Does Erebrius want to go?
I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. Erebrius, you are up.
All right. Now I am going to pull out that cannon that I wanted to pull out earlier.
Do it.
I'm going to pull out Inflict Wounds.
Okay.
But I'm going to use it at level 3.
Yikes.
So, I'm making a spell attack against him.
Oh, I missed something. There is a green haze in this room. If you are not wearing a gas mask, which would be everyone other than Dash, so Frank and Toki and now Erebrius, I need you all to make a Constitution saving throw for me real quick. I will roll for Toki, who passed.
Did I get a mask?
No. None of the guys that you pulled stuff off of had masks.
Okay. I got a 13.
A 13 is a fail.
I got a 14.
You succeeded. So, Erebrius, you have disadvantage on wisdom saving throws, and your movement is halved until your next turn.
Okay.
I got it.
Well, at any rate,
22.
Does a 24 hit him?
Yes.
Okay. Then he is going to take 5d10 damage.
Ouch. You're going to light him up.
Well, you know.
So to speak.
He takes 30 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, wow.
In the name of Jesus.
Yeah. Ouch. You see him recoil from you in pain, and he's looking hurt for sure.
I'm gonna look at him. You need Jesus.
All right. He says, "You need to not touch me again." Harlock, or is there anything else you're going to do, Erebrius, or is that it?
No, I'm just gonna hang out.
Okay, Harlock, it is your turn.
I'm going to move closer and do Scorching Ray.
So you have to roll Scorching Ray. The way it works is there are 3 rays, so you roll to hit 3 times. So your first one is a 21 that hits.
Okay.
You want to do it at second level or third level?
Third level.
Third level, so that'll add 2 extra rays to it. So you roll 5 times instead of 3.
I want to cut the head off the serpent.
So it's 24 plus 11. That's 35 points of damage. JS, Mr. Harlock, please describe the killing blow on Elias, the big bad, as you light this poor guy up with a massive Scorching Ray. I don't know what any of that meant, but you see Harlock step up, and he throws both of his hands forward, and these 5 rays of fire blast out of his hands and slam into Elias's chest, and coupled with the really nasty
fumes
cause wounds that Erebrius laid on him. Elias drops to the ground, limp, dead at the feet of Erebrius and Toki. Actually, kind of more at the waist of Erebrius and the feet of Toki.
Not at the feet of Block.
These two thugs start looking really nervous. Block, it is your turn.
Can we talk?
Oh, you can.
If you don't,
this guy here.
If you don't want to attack, you can use your action to try and convince them to lay down their arms.
How is this guy looking?
So this guy has not been hit, but he's not moving very quickly.
That's right. He's got the slow spell against him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This guy was the guy that. So this guy on the left, across the way, is the one that Dash jumped up and stabbed.
So when I attack, I can do the 2 attacks. Can I do the hey, drop your weapons, and if he doesn't attack, or do I just need to choose one or the other?
So if you want to spend your action to try and convince him to lay down your arms, then you would do that in lieu of attacking.
Okay, I'm going to try and convince him to lay down his arms, but I'm going to try and convince him to lay down his arms with my sword. So
Okay. So that would be intimidation rather than persuasion. So go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
no. I'm actually swinging my sword at him. Like,
Never mind.
this is-
Okay, so you're going to attack.
No, I'm attacking.
So you're going to lay his arms down on the ground for him.
Yeah. Lay down your arms, or I will cut them off. No, I rolled an 18 for this first attack, plus I can't remember my numbers, 7.
25, that'll hit.
Yeah, so 25, and then damage is 8 plus
6.
6. Yeah, so 14.
14, all right.
And second attack, I rolled a 13 plus 7, so 20.
That'll hit.
And 8 plus 6, that's 14.
All right, another 14 points of damage. He now looks pretty hurt. He's having a bad day. Well, it was Elias's turn, but he dead.
We wrecked him.
Well, I was going to step away from him because I didn't want him to attack me.
Okay, you can do that. Normally, he would get an attack of opportunity, but because he is slowed, he does not get a reaction. So you can step away from him without him swinging at you.
Then I will definitely do that. I wasn't sure about the... Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right. So it's the thug's turn. This one can only do one thing because he is slowed. So he's going to shoot his crossbow at you, Block. Because you just heard him. He did not like it.
Oh.
Seems that you were convincing that you were a threat. And he will shoot at you twice with his crossbow.
All right.
17. I believe that misses because you have a shield, which brings your AC up to 19. And a 5. So he shoots at you twice, and both crossbow bolts stick into your shield.
Okay.
Dash, you made a friend in this gentleman over here. He's going to shoot his crossbow at you. Does a 17 hit you?
Yes, it does.
All right. And I believe a 24 then would also hit. So he shoots you 2 times.
2 times.
2 times. More than 1 time. 3 points of piercing damage with the first attack. Oh no.
Ow.
And 7 points of damage. 7 points of piercing damage. So a total of 10 points of piercing damage. And then it is your turn, Dash.
Well, I did not enjoy that. That was this fellow here closest to me.
Yes, it was the fellow that you so politely hopped up and stabbed.
Well, I'd like to do it again. Will a 17 hit him?
Yes, it will.
Oh boy, oh boy. Great. How does a 17 feel?
For damage,
Yep.
it feels like it hurts.
Well, I'll hit him again then.
Okay.
That is a dirty 20 to hit. 4 piercing.
I almost gave him only 4 hit points. He still has more than that.
And then I'll
And you'll move back away. All
away
right.
from him.
Frank. That's Frank.
I'm going to step up right about here. And then I am going to, why not, cast Thunderstep. So they will need, everyone within 10 feet of me will need to make a Constitution saving throw of 14.
Thanks, dude. Love that. Love that you did that. That's everybody except for Dash.
Yeah, that is everyone except for Dash. Needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Con save. What's the DC?
14.
14?
Way to go, Felix.
Toki saves.
Yeah, no, I'm taking damage.
Thug on the left saves. Thug on the right saves.
Well,
Do you feel good about yourself now? You hurt only your friends.
And I rolled a 8 plus 7, so that's 15. What was
Don't
the...
you worry,
14.
Frank. You didn't hurt me, though.
So,
so
Block saves. Harlock does not. So Harlock and Arebrius, you both failed.
Yeah.
So you'll take full damage. Everyone else will take half.
All right, ready for it?
No, but I don't get a choice.
It's not that much. It's only 14.
What?
14 thunder damage.
You know, when I let my fire cannon off the chain, I made sure it hit my target instead of everybody else. I'm just throwing that out there.
So he literally did only hurt his friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay. Well,
Does Thunderwave do half damage?
thunder step. Let me see what it says. Constitution half. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, everyone takes damage.
It's
But
just
anyone who saved takes half damage.
his friends took the most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Actually, I'm gonna grab Arebius. You're in front of me, right?
No.
Wait, who's right in front of me?
Harlock is right in front of you.
I'll grab Harlock because I can take.
Okay, so Harlock won't take
I can
any
take him
damage.
with me.
Yeah, so Harlock will take 0 damage because you're taking him with you.
Oh,
if
so-
Harlock is willing to go with you.
Only I took the full damage. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Josiah.
I'm sorry.
I don't think you are.
How much damage?
It was 14.
No, it was 7 for everybody. It was just 14. For John damage, it was 14.
All right.
And I reappear over by the chest.
And Harlock goes with you. Okay. It is Toki's turn. Toki is going to move and attack. Oh, Toki lands a nat 20. 1d6, that's 6 plus 4. She does 10 points of damage. And then she'll bonus action disengage. Erebrius, it's your turn.
I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to play cleanup and throw another 3rd level inflict wounds on this guy.
Light him up.
That's the plan. Does a 16 hit?
16 just hits.
Oh, thank God. If I would have wasted my last 3rd level spell, I would have done that.
It feels good when that happens, doesn't
I
it?
wasted my last 3rd level spell. on
You
you.
did 7 points of damage.
Another 30 points of damage on this guy.
Oh, man. He drops to the floor dead at your feet, Erebrius.
And I do it as I'm singing the doxology. Praise God from whom all blessings flow.
Wow. That's dark. Harlock, it's your turn.
I would try to talk sense into the guy, but I don't think he'll understand me.
You could try to make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Okay.
So a 16? All right. Or sorry, a 14, disadvantage. You take the lower of the two. You know what? He rolled pretty low. He rolled a 10. So you guys see Harlock start shouting at this thug on the other side of the room, and this guy slowly turns around, and he looks at the wild hand movements of Harlock. He kind of starts nodding, and he drops his crossbow and puts his hands in the air and locks his fingers behind his head and says, "I surrender." Block, it's your turn.
I'm declaring then that I want to do non-lethal damage. 9 plus 7, so 16.
16 hits.
Damage. 4 plus 6, so 10.
All right. You crack this guy on the back of the head, and he very slowly says, "Ouch." You do have the option to action surge, which would allow you
I
to
think
take
I'm going to do
action.
the action surge, yes.
Yeah. Now would be a good time to do it.
Okay. Well, I can't move my camera, but I did roll a natural 20.
All right.
And I rolled a 3.
You double your die, so you use 6 plus 6 to be a 12. It's enough to knock him out.
I'm going to... no, I can't do that at 3rd level. So instead, what I'm going to do a prayer of healing.
Okay.
For everybody in the room.
All right.
Except Frank.
So you see two things here, Frank. I know there's only one, Frank and Harlock. There is a big crate here, and there is also a chest here. I know there's only a chest depicted on the map.
Yeah, I'm going to look in the crate.
Inside of the crate is a whole bunch of fireworks.
This looks like what we came here for. Can I calculate to see if those are the number of fireworks that we were expecting to find?
Sure, go ahead. Make a...
I cast speed read.
Okay. Yeah, that looks correct. It looks like all of the fireworks are here.
Looks like everything is accounted for.
Everybody takes 9 points of healing.
I'd like to ask Erebrius if I can have his healing potion.
Did you not get the 9 points that I gave you?
No, I did, but more. I have other use for it.
Here, you can use mine, and I hand you mine, or I toss it to you.
All right, and
doesn't work well
gonna go
if
back
you
to
don't have
this.
a mouth.
I'm going to go back to this guy that I clonked on the head, and I'm going to tie him up and feed him the stuff.
All right.
Tell him, stay quiet unless we talk to you.
Okay, you heal him for 10 points. So he comes back around. He nods his head in understanding when you tell him to be quiet. That chest is locked, by the way, Harlock.
I'm fine just not knowing.
Anything, Harlock?
Toki says, do you need help unlocking chest that happens to be something I'm very good at? She cracks it open. All right.
Go Celeste.
Way to go.
Where's my folder? Documents. I thought that this chest would have stuff in it, so I'm going to pull up my DMG real quick, and we're just going to roll and see what's in it. And then we'll wrap this up, because I know it's very late for certain individuals. Kate looks like she's about to, no. She's hanging tough.
I don't call her NyQuil Kate for nothing.
All right. Let's see here. Level 5 adventure. Challenge rating 5 to 10. Inside the chest, you find 2,000 gold pieces. And then I need one of you to please roll a D100 for me.
Hey.
Percentile dice, Ben.
My high school dice. 40.
40. Okay. I need someone to roll 3d6.
4, 2, 1.
You find 7 gems, each one of them worth probably about 100 gold pieces each. And then I need someone to roll 1d6 for me.
I got it. 1.
1. Okay. Roll one more D100 for me.
83.
You find a tube. Looks like it has a cap on one, and it's about a foot or so long, and probably about 4 inches in diameter, or not 4 inches, like 2 or 3 inches in diameter, round tube. Toki holds up. She's like, "There's a bunch of gold in here, some gems, and this tube." She opens up the tube and says, "There's a paper rolled up in here."
What's on it?
Says, "It is words. Looks like magic things. I don't know."
I'll take the scroll.
It's a scroll of power word kill.
No, it is not. Let's see here.
And I cast it on this game.
It's a scroll of puppies. Lots of puppies.
Power thirst. Such flavors as banana and gun.
It is a scroll of sleep. Level 1 wizard spell.
Ain't that just the way?
We cast sleep on squid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys make your way back out of the complex here, down the tunnels, back to your rope, climb up the rope, and it's getting to be late afternoon. It's taken a couple of hours by the time you get back, a few hours. But you reach the city guards. They fetch Stumblefoot, who is very happy that you have returned with the fireworks. And he says, "Oh, thank you very much. You saved the day. I assume you all look well enough." He looks at you, Dash. He says, "You look like you took a wee bit of a beating there, friend."
You know, nothing that I don't enjoy on a nice Friday afternoon.
He says, "Well, once again, you've all helped save the day. I'm very grateful to you all." He hands each of you a pouch that has 50 gold pieces in it, and he says, "I hope you stick around. I was planning to hand out gifts for helping save the city, but I think you've already got yours in the form of magic items." He winks his eye. That bag of holding was things he was going to hand out as thank yous to the members of the Defiance. He says, "I'll still make sure that you're mentioned, and enjoy the rest of the party. Happy Liberation Day, friends."
Happy Liberation Day. Woohoo, yay.
Happy Liberation Day, everyone.
Now, is it just me, or did that sound like a cop-out?
Stumblefoot, also being a cleric, walks over to you, Dash, and pats you on the back on his way by and casts Cure Wounds on you.
I don't need your pity healing.
You're getting it anyway.
I'll accept that in gold, thank you.
Everybody out there in listener land, we want to thank you for hanging on with us through this extended episode. Want to thank the people who hung on playing through this extended episode. Squid, we're looking at you because you look like you were dying towards the end there.
Yeah, she's very sleepy.
Good night, friends.
We want to thank Eric and Ben for showing up on the show. Go support them at the Sages Portal or Supersonic Pod Comics or Strangers and Aliens. Highly recommend Strangers and Aliens. It was the podcast that got me into wanting to do podcasting. So, oh, and finally, we have a Patreon. So if you want to help us out financially, go check us out there. We're listed as Playing Games with Strangers. And if you can't help us out financially, that is totally cool. Please like, subscribe, rate, and recommend our show wherever fine podcasts are picked up. And that will help us.
Thank you cards. Thank you comments.
All sorts of stuff.
Tokens of appreciation.
Gold, doodles,
platinum.
You know,
So
any of that.
any way that you can assist us, we greatly appreciate it. We value each and every one of you. We love you, and thank you for listening to the show. Good night, and happy 4th of July.